The Big Ten men's soccer tournament begins Friday night as Ohio State, the 3 seed, will host Michigan State, the 6 seed, on Friday night on Big Ten Plus. Welcome into Lantern Television's preview of the men's soccer tournament in the Big Ten. Alongside G. Law, Austin Mucchetti, I'm Tyler Danburg, and G. Ohio State comes into this one Friday night coming off an historic regular season, tying a program record for fewest losses in a season.
Yeah, I think Ohio State, they obviously had a really good season. It's always tough coming off a loss, especially to an underrated Wisconsin team in Madison this past weekend. I think at that Ohio State defense, if they can maintain that back line, they can do a lot of good. Obviously, you had Devin Adling, who scored both those goals at Wisconsin on Sunday. If they can keep him in attacking mode, keep him going through the whole season, the rest of the playoffs, I think they'll be fine. Also,
Anthony Samway's a guy worth noting. He leads the team in assists. He's been the go-to guy on dead balls and set pieces and corner kicks. Corner kicks also another identity for this Ohio State team. How important is Samway's to this Buckeyes squad?
Well, like you said, Tyler, I think those corner kicks have been really important on a lot of the set pieces. They definitely had a lot of headers. Adling had a couple header goals this season off the Samway's corners. You had Wooten's goal against Michigan State, actually, who they're playing tomorrow. That was off a penalty kick. And I noticed at practice yesterday, they were practicing their penalty kicks, and Wooten told me, you never know what's going to happen going into the playoffs. You never know when it could go into extra time.
And Michigan State, as a result, they're going to look to try and play upset alert. They're looking to try and play spoiler against an Ohio State team that they lost to in a close one in Columbus, 2-1, about a week and a half ago. And Austin, this Michigan State Spartan squad, pretty good, 6-8-2, especially in Big Ten play. What has caught your eye from them?
Now, what's caught my eye from this Michigan State team is they have a standout freshman and striker. We have Jonathan Stout, who's got 4 goals and 4 assists and only 6 starts. Now, he's played 11 games, but that's someone who I think we really need to watch. They've had a great record, an okay record in the Big Ten as well, going 3-4-1. And you saw against Ohio State, they came out really strong in the second half, got that goal back, and I think they're going to be looking to change things up once they come back to Jesse Owens.
So let's go around the table. Let's talk about some X factors. Starting off with Ohio State, then we'll transition to Michigan State. G, somebody for Ohio State that you can see making a big impact in this Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I would say Owen Sullivan on the back line, center back for Ohio State. He has really taken initiative, kind of stepping up a lot more, trying to facilitate a little bit more from the back line. And, he's obviously one of the captains for the Buckeyes as well. If he can keep that back line going throughout the game, trying to keep facilitating, I think the Buckeyes will be fine.
What about you, Austin? X factors for Ohio State?
No, I think one of my X factors for Ohio State is someone who's really surprised me as a freshman this year, Luciano Pacoda. Now, he's got 2 game-winning goals this season. He was recently ranked the number 17 freshman in the country. He's been really impressive when I've seen him play. His technique is unbelievable. He's got the ability to take players on, and I think he's really someone who can come off the bench, make an impact, and really surprise this Michigan State team.
He's a player that has made Brian Mazonoff's team one of the more complete teams he's had in his 5 years now at Ohio State. But for Michigan State, a guy you mentioned, Jonathan Stout, most points by a Spartan rookies in 5 years. Who are some other players to take a look at for Sparty?
Yeah, I think as well as Stout, I think we have Grayson Mercer. He's got 4 goals and 2 assists. He's someone to also watch out for, a junior forward. And as well as that, we have Luis Sala. He's a senior midfielder for Michigan State, and he's got 1 goal and 7 assists. So he's someone who can create plays, definitely someone to watch out for.
G, outside of those 3 that Austin mentioned, any other Michigan State players that you can envision having an impact, especially in this match on Friday night?
Yeah, I'm going to actually go with Will Perkins, redshirt senior. He had 3 goals, 4 assists, including the 1 assist versus the Buckeyes in their game this season. Last season, he has a little bit of experience as a redshirt senior. He started all 17 games last season, so he definitely has that experience going to the Big Ten tournament as well.
The Big Ten tournament field is loaded with how good the conference has been. It will make for what should be a great tournament, especially this matchup in Columbus between Michigan State and Ohio State. But you look at the bracket overall, guys, there's a lot that sticks out, a lot of strong teams, some great matchups. So, Austin, who would be your pick to win this Big Ten tournament?
Now, my pick to win this tournament is going to be Maryland. I'm from Maryland myself. I've heard a lot about them growing up. They've always been a strong team. They've had a great season this year, finishing up with the #1 seed. A player that really sticks out to me is Stefan Mucchetti. He was recently chosen as the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. He actually won the Big Ten championship conference for Maryland with an 87th minute header. And he's someone who's got 4 goals in his last 6 games. Definitely someone to watch. And Maryland as well, their coach Sasho Sarovsky, he's been there for 30 years. He's won 3 national titles. Who says they can't do it again?
Rutgers has one more loss in Ohio State. They still, however, had a better record than Ohio State in the Big Ten. I think it's really going to rely on M.D. Myers for Rutgers. He leads the Big Ten in goals and points with 13 goals, 30 total points. I mean, that stat is just crazy to me. He had that 32nd minute goal versus the Buckeyes in the 2-2 draw when they played earlier this season. And he's averaging more than 2 shots a game for Rutgers. So I think you can really see when big players step up is really going to be the tournament in the playoffs. So I think M.D. Myers might come in very clutch this season.
He's been one of the best point scorers and goal scorers in the Big Ten, M.D. Myers. Also, Indiana, they've won 15 conference tournament championships in the Big Ten. So look out at the 4 seed, which Ohio State or Michigan State, whoever wins that one, they could battle with on the other side of the bracket. Before we go, here's Ohio State leading scorer Lawrence Wooten talking about last week's loss against Wisconsin and this upcoming Big Ten quarterfinal match against Michigan State.
It was gutting, to be honest. I think that going into these games, we know how that feels, and it's almost a big motivator now to come so close to winning the conference, only to drop it the last game. So no one wants to feel like that, and I think going into these next few games when it's everything's on the line every single game, that feeling of loss and that little pit in your stomach, chip on your shoulder, we'll take it into the games and play with some real passion. Yeah.
So that will do it on Lantern TV's preview show of the Big Ten men's soccer tournament. Ohio State will host the 6th-seeded Michigan State Spartans Friday night on Big Ten Plus. For Austin Mucchetti, for G Law, I'm Tyler Danburg, signing off.